So, we're here with the chicken and patch notes. What more could you want? Alright, we'll do the patch notes. Eat the chicken after. It's good though. Alright. Alright, guys. They'll be going to live client October 6th. This is going to PTS hopefully today. We're looking at the new God Soul, who has huge balls of fire in her hand. Lots of fire, man. Just huge, massive, massive fire flames. Breasts. What? Okay. Moving on. This is our new God coming in. Is a mage. Is auto attack oriented. Think Freya. So, unstable manifestation is her passive. Soul gains heat as she uses abilities and hits with basic attacks. This goes up to 1, so this is 1% for every 3% heat, and heat goes up all the way to 100%. Thank you, Linksy Poo, for the sub. I appreciate it. Everybody get your flex on for Linksy Poo. Her basic attacks gain 50% damage at 0 heat. So the very first auto attack does 50% bonus damage. Basic attacks also give 5% heat, but she also loses heat like every second. But she does gain 33% attack speed and magical power at 100% passive meter. Okay? Okay. Radiance. Soul burns bright, gaining a large amount of heat. This is her 1. Healing her over time for 5 to 25% of missing health, not maximum health. And it ignites the flame ground around her in like a pretty medium, like small to medium sized circle. Enemies that walk into that circle take a bleed every second for presumably what we think is 5 seconds, but there's no actual count on it. And the ability gives you a ton of heat, which is your passive meter basically. So think Bacchus drink, but like a lot more because it goes away a lot faster. Okay? Small circle though that doesn't follow you, so like basically you're gonna walk out of the circle the second she casts it, so you're not gonna get hit by it more than like once, maybe twice. Stellar Burst. Her next basic attack explodes. Now I don't know if this means if you miss your next basic attack that it misses and you just miss it completely, or if it's like your next successful basic attack. I'm not sure. It creates a shockwave, so you hit somebody with it, and it goes, and a circle goes out and hits everybody around the circle, and then it goes, and it collapses back in, doing damage again, and slows. And it also gives you 10% heat to kind of make up for the fact they weren't auto-attacking. Didn't look crazy, but relatively low cooldown skill. Seems to gonna be maybe her clear, but her clear could maybe also be her 1, but her 1 would put you out of position. Her 3 is her getaway skill / an attack skill / an invulnerability skill. This is like the craziest skill to like kind of go into. So she bursts into flames. Well, I mean, she's already on flames. She gains movement speed up to 50% starting at 30. She gets the Fatalis buff while she's in this. Leaves a trail of fire behind her like Agni, which does damage over time, every 0.5 seconds. After 3 seconds within that, she loses form and becomes a ball of fire. Okay? And her path explodes. So wherever you walked in those 3 seconds explodes. Anybody on the path is stunned for 1.5 seconds. And you're then in a invulnerable form for 1.5 seconds. Okay, one more time. Speed buff plus Fatalis. Okay. Does damage like Agni. Explodes, which stuns after 3 seconds. Also invulnerable at the end. You can cancel the invulnerability if you want to get right back into attacking. It's a lot of things. Her ultimate is basically a machine gun from the sky going bop, 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 bop. Think like an artillery strike. It's got like a half a second delay on the very first one going off. You paint with it like an Amazon cob honey, kind of. It's like the most similar to that. It does pretty decent damage there. You can see 150 to 350 plus 50% scaling. Plus the first one knockbacks a little bit. But then the rest of the hits only do 20% successive damage. But it's crazy. It's basically an artillery strike from the sky. It's insane. She also has the coolest recolor I have ever seen on a recolor skin. Right here. First of all, I'm not saying that you can see nipple. But I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying it's appropriate. I'm not saying it's inappropriate. I'm just saying she is completely naked. There is no arguing that she's completely naked. But it is the best recolor I've ever seen in Smite. So that's that. Okay. Gold Ravana for all of you players that play Ravana. All three of you. All three of you. One of the better skins as of recently, I mean, all the skins have been amazing, but new Loki skin, which also has all custom effects with it. When he goes invisible, he turns into like a bony ghost type thing. He's got all kinds of cool skull effects on his abilities. Amazing voice pack with it. It's by far the best Loki skin that they're going to have, so... Odyssey. New content revealed every week. Fantastic. New voice packs for Soul. Awesome. New emotes, avatars, updated god cards. Kali Convention got a little update. Not bad. Not bad. Updated the tutorial. So basically the tutorial, it feels more cinematic now. There's like, it's like almost like a trailer. Same thing with Arena. The AI got improved a little bit, hopefully to maybe like everything from Nuwa minions to lane minions, hopefully acting a little bit smarter. It is a Halloween event now, so if you die in Arena, you leave behind a tombstone. There's also a bunch of new things in Arena. You got like bats and the banners, spiders. The minions are now like zombie, stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. Plus a Halloween chest. Added new miscellaneous things. And the patch notes just completely cut off here out of nowhere. So we're going to go to the Reddit really quick to get the rest of our important patch notes. Because it just stops out of nowhere. And patch notes. That was easy. Bada bing, bada boom. Scroll down to what we don't know. Alright, item changes. Let's just zoom in a second. Boom. So, boom. We got a Mail of Renewal nerf. Basically, the passive no longer does 20%, it does 15%. It'll still be a really strong item, but it won't be quite as, like, game-breaking, I don't think. Bluestone also got nerfed, but, like, I'm not sure where the number 26 came from. Maybe there's some math behind it, but it got nerfed by 4 damage for a total of 8 damage nerf. So I'm not sure where that's coming along, but it'll still be annoying. It'll still be good, but maybe take a little bit of the edge off. But I just 8 damage, man. I just can't see it. Shoes of Focus. It's the cooldown boots meta now for a while, it seems. Shoes of the Magi no longer give mana, so the pen boots don't give mana. And the pen boots got their damage increased by 5. Whoa! 5 more damage! We only lost 250 mana for it. Cooldown boots now get the 250 mana. So, that's a pretty much a direct buff to Janice. They basically said, hey Janice, we know you like cooldown. Here, have some more mana so you don't have to back as much. Cool, I love that. But, what it also does is actually will help supports. You're going to see supports buying strictly cooldown boots now. We get cooldown for our skills to use, plus we get the mana, which was like the best of both worlds. So Athena, Geb, Kumba, Sobek, all these Bacchus, all these supports are probably getting cooldown boost now. Actually, Bacchus liked the pen. He might be a little bit different, actually. He probably doesn't like that change out of all the supports. God changes. Apollo! Apollo got a tiny buff, nothing crazy. Increased the knockback strength from 175 to 250. Maybe you can get in an extra auto attack now on the dash. It didn't seem to be too crazy, though, so I wouldn't put too much into that. Awelish. This is the most annoying change in the patch. If you didn't see enough Awelish before, fantastic, you're getting to see her now. The ultimate can now see through walls. It works through walls, and you don't need vision. You don't need vision to use it, and you can use it through walls. So if you're on somebody with a jump, and you've got heavy hammer, they cannot get away from you. Unless somebody has a dash, Apollo can get away, Agni can get away. If you have a dash, you cannot physically get away from Awelix. You have to fight. You have to fight her. Is the only way to get away if you have a jump. So that is frustrating. Not a fan. Not a fan of how much Awelish is going to be up in my day. And Astur's like, ah. Kabrakan, I like this change. Refraction Shield, his 2, got cooldown reduced from 14 to 10 to 10 at all ranks. This will help with clear, damage, it gives you defense. Pretty awesome skill. Honestly, by far the best skill in this kit. Just got buffed even more. With full cooldown, you're getting cooldown boosts because they give you mana now. 6 seconds with full cooldown, I don't know, maybe. Maybe Kabrakan a little bit. Kabrakan to combat some of these dashes. Kabrakan support. I don't know, we'll see. Chalk. So, everybody hates Chalk, right? Nobody wants to play against Chalk because what does Chalk do? He ones, and then he twos, and the wave is cleared. Okay? Everybody knows what Chalk does. So, what was the problem with Chalk? You can't kill anybody with Chalk. They just walk away. Well, let's just fix that problem. Chalk Slow starts at 20% and goes to 40%. 40% plus you can have it on the axe plus yourself plus heavy hammer. So basically he's got a root for the duration of rain. Not digging it. Not digging. I think it's going to be annoying. I think we might be going back towards a little Chalkerino. Little Chalkerino up in here. A little Bluestone heavy hammer chalk in your day. Give you the little 1-2 pow. A change that I do like, though, Hebo. Hebo, scroll, water wave, whatever you want to call it, little path of freedom on the water. You and your allies are immune to slows. It basically got a heavenly agility treatment. It's actually heavenly agility on like an 8-second cooldown. So, that's pretty awesome. Is it going to make him an every game pick? No. Could it make him a situational pick? Definitely. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yi got a massive buff. So not only did they fix the bug on his 1, so it actually has the correct indicator on where it's shooting, they reduced the cooldown by 4 seconds on Ricochet, and increased the scaling on Dive Bomb from 30 to 60%, because why not? I love getting stunned by Yi and then immediately knocked up for the rest of my health. Shoutouts to Allied, because Allied loves Yi, but this is going to be annoying. There's going to be a lot of ricochets coming your way, and there's going to be a pop damage on that Dive Bomb, but definitely going to bring him into some top-level play here, no doubt about it. Mercury getting a buff, actually a fairly massive buff. Fastest got alive, his passive increased the bonus damage from distance traveled from 50 to 75%. So that first hit you do, if it crits you for the rest of your life, even if you had 100%. And the special delivery throw increased the height, which means you can probably get in an extra auto attack when you throw people against walls, which is also important. So Mercury possibly working his way back here into competitive play. Nemesis, Retribution cooldown from 18 to 16. Not a big deal. Maybe we'll see a little bit more AFK Nemesises. Nox got a pretty hefty buff. Shadowlock now doesn't just root, it cripples. So, there you go. Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy, because you were usually combining the silence with the root, which was essentially a cripple. But now it cripples by itself, which means you don't actually have to hit the 2 into the 1. You can just hit the 1, and then your team can blow them up, so you have the perfect setup with just the 1. Sobek. Sobek got the bufferinos, dude. Sobek plus cooldown boots is going to be... Oh, I don't know, man. Charge Prey mana cost reduced from 110 at max rank to 90. Sickening Strike reduced from 70 at the start to 60, and from 110 at max to 80. Pretty decent managed changes there. And Lurking in the Waters gives you 30% protections now, and it increased the slow at 5% at all ranks. Welcome back, Sobek, to all things meta. Tyr, little tiny buff, kind of weird, but increased the defensive stance protection by 2 at each rank, and decreased the cooldown on stance switch by 1 second at each rank. Nothing crazy, just like a tap on the shoulder. Vulcan, Backfire will actually work correctly. Fantastic. He can actually hit the mid-harpies now. It doesn't just disappear. Xing 10 got nerfed again. I will never, ever play this god. I don't know if he's viable in other roles, but he just keeps getting bopped on the head. I feel like it's like a gopher that like he keeps trying to pop up and they're like down. He's like up and down, up, down. They keep slamming the hammer on him. Cooldown is even longer now. They have 100 at all ranks. It doesn't decrease. And they reduced the power scaling on it because less power scaling is better, I guess. So... peace out, Xing 10. Zhong Kui got a huge buff. Zhong Kui has his base health increased by 50, his health per level increased by 5, which is an extra 200 health total, and his magical protections per level from 0 to 0.9. So he also gets base magical protections. The only other mage that gets base magical protections is Freya. So that's crazy. So Zhong Kui middle is back, boys. PTS, ETA, unknown. So that wraps up, guys, our PTS changes. That's pretty crazy. It's some pretty sweet stuff, though. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube that you subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on what you think is going to happen in this patch. Anything that you think is OP that shouldn't have happened, or maybe something you thought should have was going to get nerfed and didn't. I thought Cudgel was going to get nerfed.